Welcome back, my dear students. Hope you all are doing well and taking good care of yourself. Children, in the last session, we have learned about Indian textiles that were popular in European markets, and they even dominate the whole world till the end of 18th century. So, children, today in this session, we will learn about the weavers. As we can see from the chapter number 6, that we have to learn about three important people: weavers, iron smelters, and factory owners. So, today in this session, we will learn about weavers. As I said, today we will be learning about the weavers. But before that, I would like to tell you what is weaving. As we can see from the picture, this person is weaving. So, weaving means the craft to form the fabric by interlacing threads. Now we will learn about weavers. Who were the weavers? Weavers belong to the communities that were specialized in weaving. Now these communities had the quality of fine weaving. Now these weavers have got the skills of weaving from their ancestors. Means these skills were passed from one generation to next generation. Like for example, grandfather is having the skill of weaving. He will pass this skill to his son, and from his son to his son. So their skill was passing from one generation to another generation. Now these weavers were famous with the different names at different places. Like the Tanti weavers in Bengal, Julahas in North India, Kaikolar and Devangs in South India. So these are the communities of the weavers. They were famous for weaving. Children, now we will understand the stages of production. So there are three stages of production. One, spinning. Second, weaving. And third is dyeing of clothes. So first we will understand spinning. Now the process of spinning involves the conversion of fiber into yarn, or we can say making of thread from fibers. Now charkha and takli were two household spinning instruments. Now from the picture we can see this woman, she is making thread on charkha, and when thread was ready it was rolled on a takli. So takli is a piece of wood on which they were rolling the thread. Now second stage of production was weaving. Now weaving means the action or craft of making fabric by interlacing threads, or the thread was woven into cloth by the weaver. Now after weaving, the third stage is dyeing of clothes. Now for colored textiles, the thread was dyed by the dyer known as rangrace. Now rang is a Hindi word. Rang means color. So from the word itself we can understand rangrace means it was colored by a rangrace. And for printed cloth, the weavers needed the help of specialists like block printers known as chippigers. Children, now we will discuss the reasons of decline of Indian textiles. Children, we have seen that Indian textiles were very famous in European markets or Western markets. And we have also learned about the stages of production in India, or how Indian goods were produced in India. Now, because of development of cotton industries in Britain, it affected textile producers of India in various ways. So we'll learn about the reasons of decline of Indian textiles. The first reason was Indian textiles had to face tough competition with the British textiles in European and American markets. Children, we have seen that British producers had invented and adopted modern techniques and machines to manufacture clothes like spinning jelly, steam engine, through which they can manufacture clothes in bulk and at cheap rate. And they have also started calico industries where they were copying Indian prints. Now, Indian textiles were not using these modern machines or techniques to produce the clothes. So their production was very slow and also not as cheap as British clothes. So another reason of decline of Indian textiles was exporting textiles to England also became increasingly difficult because high duties were imposed on Indian textiles which were imported into Britain. Now import means like when country is bringing the goods from another country or foreign country into their country for sale. So now here, as we have already discussed, that British weavers, British makers, British wool makers, they have forced the government to ban the Indian textiles because they were suffering huge losses as they have to face tough competition from the Indian textiles. Now, if Indian textiles producers want to import the goods to Britain, they have to bear heavy import duty. Now, even European countries stopped buying Indian goods and their agents no longer gave out advances to weavers to secure supplies. Now, because of which thousands of weavers in India were now thrown out of employment. And in fact, by 1830s, British cotton cloth flooded Indian markets. So this affected not only specialist weavers but also spinners. And because of which thousands of rural women who made a living by spinning cotton thread were rendered jobless. Children, we have seen demand of Indian textiles decreases in European markets or Western markets because British cotton flooded in Indian markets. Now, like as we have seen in past, cotton from India was exported to Britain and now British cotton flooded in Indian markets. In 1830s, flow of cotton from Britain was too much in India. Even two-thirds of Indian cloth were made from British cotton. Suppose if anybody has 30 cotton dresses, out of which two-thirds means 20 cotton dresses were made from British cotton. Indian textile producers were badly hit by British cotton producers. In India, unemployment increases. Even Indian weavers, they filed a petition against British producers, cotton producers. As we have seen, like when Indian textiles, demand of Indian textiles increases in European market or Britain, they force the government to ban Indian textiles. Like in India also, Indian weavers producers, they filed a petition against British cotton producers, as because people were buying British cotton in India, British cloths in India. Though they didn't get any solution out of it, but in India, handloom weaving did not die completely in India. This was because some types of cloths could not be supplied by machines. Like machines cannot produce saris with intricate borders or clothes with traditional woven patterns. Now, these had a wide demand not only among the rich people but also among the middle class people. Like textile manufacturers in Britain, they were not producing coarse clothes which were used by poor people in India. As Britishers were producing very fine quality of cotton which only rich people can afford. Like Sholapur in Western India and Madura in South India. These towns emerged as important new centers of weaving in the late 19th century. Later, during the national movement, Mahatma Gandhi urged people to boycott imported textiles and use hand spun and hand woven cloth. In the previous slide, I have explained you that Mahatma Gandhi urged people to boycott imported textiles and use hand woven clothes. Now, Khadi gradually became a symbol of nationalism. Charkha came to represent India. Children, we have learned about charkha, that charkha was used to make thread. So charkha was put at the center of tricolor flag of the Indian National Congress adopted in 1931. Now what happened to the weavers and spinners who lost their employment, who lost their livelihood? Now some of these handloom weavers, they found work in the new cotton mills that were established in Bombay, Ahmedabad, Sholapur, Nagpur and Kanpur. Children, now we will quickly revise the topic. Now, who were the weavers? Weavers belong to the communities that were specialized in weaving. Now, these specialized skills they got from their ancestors. Means their skills were passed on from one generation to the next generation. Like Tanti weavers of Bengal, Julahas weavers of North India, Kai Kolar and Devangs of South India. These were some of the communities that were famous for weaving. Now, what were the reasons of decline of Indian textiles? Now, first reason was they have to compete with British textiles in European and American markets. Second reason, exporting textiles to England was very difficult because high duties were imposed on Indian textiles imported to Britain. And by 1830s, British cotton cloth flooded Indian markets. This affected not only specialized weavers but also spinners. Now, why handloom weaving did not completely die in India? Because Machines cannot produce saris with intricate borders or cloths with traditional woven patterns. Children, stay home, stay safe. Thank you, children.